That's right. The bottom of the bed's done. It's a Christmas miracle. Christmas is over. Martin Luther King Day Jr. Miracle. So what happened is yesterday after work, I'm like, I'm going to do this. Brushed the whole underside of the bed, which was fun. That was a mess. I wish I had a full Tyvek suit or a paint suit, okay? So then I got the POR 15 out, started brushing it, and I started here, and I got to these two rails, and that was taking forever. I got impatient, so the next thing I did was I dumped it into a paint hopper and took a little bit of reducer, and it says on the can that you can reduce it with 5% solvent, and that's a POR 15 solvent. I don't know what it's made out of. I don't know what it is. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to take a gamble because I'm not going to get this done tonight if I don't spray it on. So I dumped it in a paint hopper, and then to calculate out the perfect amount is you dump it in there, however many ounces you have, you take that times 0.05, and that tells you 5% solvent what you're supposed to put in. So I did the right thing, and I just eyeballed it and dumped it in there and mixed it up. Lo and behold, it worked fine. I just used paint reducer, medium paint reducer is what I had here, and I used the stuff from the coating store right here, and I just dumped some of that in, eyeballed it, mixed it, and it turned out just like this. Like, I did have to do several coats to get it thick, but it took me like half an hour, as opposed to it took me like an hour to do that front rail up there. So wheel wells, everything, sprayed it on thick, like so thick that I got drops in some places, drips. But yeah, this is much nicer, way more nicer. Only thing I was really worried about was, is it going to dry? Because me mixing solvent in with it, and it did, and it dried hard, just like me. So another thing I did was, where these patch panels are, that they tack welded them in and then bodyworked the outside. I put more tacks in those because a couple of them had broken, and ground the inside there, and then I took fiberglass filler and covered the whole thing, and then POR 15'd it. And it's probably just going to look dark, but I did that on the patch panel in all the places that it stuck out because they had like a bed coating on it, but it was flaking off. So ground all that down, ground the metal down and everything, fiberglass strand filler over all that, smoothed it. I didn't even sand it. I just smoothed it out on the inside of the bed and then painted it. So yeah, where I welded that in, you can see my spot welds on the outside because it burned through the bodywork. So I will have to redo the putty on these areas here. But yeah, right there's a POR 15 drop right there. And we'll have to sand that off because we're going to be painting here. I got to bodywork this, that area, that corner, and that corner. The guy that had them, I don't think was very nice with them. So yeah, they got bent in, but I just need to hammer them down. Ordered a roll pan that comes with a license plate light. It has the license plate cut out. We'll be putting that in here eventually when I get it. I didn't get it yet. I just ordered it today. But yeah, I mean, mostly we're down to body work. Mostly. I say that sparingly. There's the doors. I got brand new hinges. I got brand new seals. I want to paint the door jambs, so when I put the doors on, that part is done, and then I can paint the doors on the thing. But I want to... Actually, I might paint them off of it. I don't know yet. Haven't figured that out yet. We'll do the roof separate. We're going to be painting in parts on this, but like, I foresee a new project coming. Spoiler alert, I haven't bought one. I've been looking, but one's going to be coming, so I know that. But I need to do what I can while this is here. Now, the bed is going on in this episode. That's the main thing. I want to put the bed on. I ordered the bolts. They're not here. Little piece of advice on those. If you have ones that spun in the bed, it rounded the holes out, so now your carriage bolts don't work right. If you look up the bed bolts for this, The wooden bed, those bolts are cheaper, and they come with washers that have square holes in them. So, however they are supposed to be mounted with those washers, the washers are what hold the bolt in place. So we're going to weld those in, the washers, and fix all those holes that round it out. And I'm probably just going to use it on all of them because it's going to make it stronger. But brand new bolts for every bed mount. Like I said, we don't have those, so we're probably just going to be setting the bed on. I'm going to leave the bolts in it that were still in it for alignment. Like there's one back there, one there, one there, one here. That might be it. So yeah, but that's for the weekend. So I got stuff to do right now. So I'll get back to you guys this weekend. Yeah! Alright, we're putting the bed on in this episode. So much. 2 days I wanted to film now, and I could not. My brother's car blew up. It's a Sonata. Yeah, surprise, huh? Stewie, sick, constipated, has had one stuck sideways in there, pretty much. He's on his way back from the vet right now. So first, get the dolly out. So that's why I got everything packed so I could get that thing out. And then I bought a new project, which I'm going to need the dolly for that. So it's sitting outside. I go pick it up here in 2 days. So that's coming. Roll pans here. I haven't taken that out yet. Let's see what it looks like. Also, second set of door panels that I ordered, the ones I actually paid for, came. And I don't like them as much as the first ones I got. So we the cover lay door panels are actually fairly nice. These are all plastic. There's like the cover lay have carpet laid in them. These have no armrests. There's nothing there. And these also have metal like door locks and then a seal that runs on here. And that stuff's not on the cover lay ones. So I think I might have gotten these door seals with my door seal kit, but I'm not sure. But we might mix and match the two and use parts of these door panels and the other door panels. But these ones have like a pattern on them. And then this is all one piece, where this is a separate piece on the other ones I got. So it's like a drop-in piece. Yeah. The other ones have an actual armrest on them. So we're going to do something there. Got the bed bolts. Now let me show you those. So when you look up bed bolts, there'll be ones that come up. They're actually a little bit cheaper. They're listed for a wooden bed. Well, we don't have a wooden bed. But what these come with are these eccentric washers with square holes in them. And if you remember, some of ours spun in the bed, which made that hole round, so the bolts are just going to spin in there. So, but they come with these washers. They're zinc coated or whatever. We're going to weld these into the bed and then use these bed bolts, and that hole's going to be fixed, and you're not going to have to worry about that hole being rounded out. And these are not going to round out because they're like an 1/8 inch thick. So it's going to fix our issue. And I'll probably just do every one of them, weld them all in, even though not all of them spun. That way there's no issue, again, if they need to take the bed off. Now this was like $105. I do notice it looks like somebody had bolted this on. This hole is a little bit like warped, like it was bolted down, and then there's one over there, and then it also looks like there was paint kind of just, if you can see that, like there was a chip and they painted it. I don't honestly care. I'm welding that on. I'll probably put a couple bolts in it to hold it in place, but then I'm going to weld those on. This one also comes with an LED license plate light, but for like $105, like, you can't beat that. These aren't self-tappers, but yeah, you could just honestly drill the holes and just bolt it on, which honestly might be a better option than welding it, because then it can be removed. I don't know. I'm not fully decided yet. We'll see what I do with that. And I'm not throwing that on right now, so I just wanted to see it, make sure everything was good with it. And yeah, looks pretty nice. So let's get this truck moved forward. I'm just gonna put it in neutral and coast it up. And we're gonna try to get the bed lined up best we can. And we can't put this fill neck in yet. We'll have to do that later, which I'm probably gonna be after this next project. If I can put the other fuel neck in, we'll get everything hooked up that we can. But yeah, I'm anxious to see it on there now with decent bedsides on it, although we're not gonna have fenders and stuff. I'm gonna quit talking now. Let's just do this. Okay, so we have it pulled up. I know we're pretty close. I know these posts, I can't even remember if I had that one sticking out or not, are gonna be pretty close. I do know I felt bad at how good this frame looked, and then it got all dusty and dirty. I still missed the leaf spring. So I wiped it all down. I missed this, and I'm sad to say that overspray got on it, but I mean, it's still coated. The overspray is a little extra. They can have that. Wanted to make sure it looked good before I set the body back down on top of that, and then you can't get to it, because then it'll be all dirty and dusty and stuff. That looks a lot better. Yeah, we're gonna try to set this down on here. Now, the only thing I'm using for guide pins is I left old bolts in. There's one up there, one here, part of a long one there, and that's pretty much it. The rest of them all broke or something else. So we're just gonna try to get them bolt holes lined up. I might have to slide the truck around a little bit just to get it on there. We might have to shift the body a little bit, but the front's gonna sit down first, obviously, because I put the bed on blocks this time because it's a lot safer. Extra carefully right now. Oh, it's gonna be so close. I'm already so close. We have a problem. I don't think my lift arm's been clear. This is aggravating. I'm digging that color. I'm telling you, I'm really digging the color. I still haven't successfully got this fuel neck up in here. Oh, it's about to go. Don't pinch my fingers again. Yeah, I need to push on it from the back side. All right, so far I got up here and was just putting them in make sure they're going to work. They're going to work out perfect. I don't know why they only list them for a wooden bed, but as you can see, there's a stock bolt. You see how corroded that is, and you know, most of them break off. Compare it to this one, it's a little bit longer, but if you look a little bit closer, it's longer because it just has a unthreaded tip on it. The threads are actually the same length, so they actually do fit good. And if you put the oblong side facing away from the cutout, it fits in there perfect, like that. So they're going to get welded in there like that. I just wanted to set them in, make sure they were going to be long enough and they fit. These two are really long bolts because they go the whole way through the frame down to the bottom, and a nut goes on them. The rest of them are the same length as the one I just put in. And we need to wire wheel the bed on those spots, and then hopefully find a good spot to ground it here. And we're going to go ahead, I'm going to burn them in. I'm going to burn them in with the bolts sitting in them, so that way I know that they're lined up good and that I'm not going to have them on a bind or nothing. So let's go ahead and get that done. Bam! Now that self-etching primer, I think I'm going to throw a little bit of enamel on there. I have some black engine enamel or something. I'm just going to throw something on there just to coat that. I want to put this thing up in the air and put the nuts on the bed bolts so that the bed is part of the truck now. Another thing I need to do, I was looking at my bedside because I was like, where the heck does this thing bolt in here? And it goes like right there. And there's more holes drilled in my bed. So I'm going to have to drill these holes out so that I can put the bolts in that to hold that. And then you have to somehow get this piece back in there. I probably should have done that first, which it's not bolted in. So I can still probably get this out of the way. Probably easier with the filler cap off. And maybe I'll get that in there. It needs to be painted, but I want to see it on. Bolts! I can see them all! Alright, I'm done for the night, but man, look at the improvements. I mean, yes, there's rust underneath because I haven't got to treat the underside of the frame. But, I mean, just look at this improvement, like underneath the bottom side of the bed, the frame, the insides of the bed, because I coated them. I did everything. I sprayed it all. And then brand new bolts. Here, there. There, the correct ones instead of having different length ones. And this just looks amazing under here, and I can't wait to finish the rest of this off with POR 15, which might be a chore on this cross member because it's really oily. I'm gonna have to really clean that, but yeah, just gonna leave the truck up in the air. I'm glad we're done with that. So we'll get the rest of that coated at some point. I'm really thrilled with the outcome here, the underside of this. Now, once we finish the axle and all this stuff, man, it's gonna you're not gonna know that this was a 1985 from underneath. It's gonna look fantastic. All right, next day. All right, determine what we're gonna do. Okay, I thought about this. The truck has to come off the lift and move tomorrow. I want to put the exhaust on it, so I want to get the headers off. I got new gaskets. I want to paint the headers because I got that aluminized paint. It's for exhaust from Eastwood, wherever that's at. I have it somewhere. But let's get the headers off. We'll get them cleaned up as best we can. Spray them down with that stuff. Get the headers back on. See how much I have left. I might spray the whole exhaust. Get it done. And then I also have exhaust tips, so I kind of want to put those on too. Maybe just tack them for now, but I'd like to get them on there. So now that I get it up here, you look at the freaking cab corner. It just, that looks horrible. But that's the way it is. This side doesn't look as bad as that side, but it's still, it's like the curvature, whatever. At least it's at the very bottom of the vehicle. One thing I would like to do is I would love to get this thing. I'd like to get the door seals painted, or the whole door jambs and everything. These have to come off because I got brand new hinges. I kind of want to just do this whole part, even this section here, spray all this and on both sides, but that's going to be for another day. Like I said, new projects coming, so I have to make room. So let's go ahead and get these headers off. It's actually, if I lower this down a little bit more, this is a kind of an easy job. It's like right there. Actually, if I cut the wheel, it'd be even better. All right, so I lowered it down, so yeah, that's can't get at those, you got a problem. I'm gonna take all the spark plug boots off. Is it leaking already? Or did I just not clean it good enough? No, it's already leaking. Great. So I'm not sure if I can get it up through here, otherwise the oil filled tube has to come off. We'll start unbolting things.
Asymptomatic, I'm the only one out here on the floor. The foundation is shaking and the windows all are breaking, but I'm not about to run for the door. Save yourself by never wishing you were somebody else. Stay for the fire and swim through the night of the flood. Ain't nothing weaker than a feeling. So hold up your ladder and sing for the ones that you lost. Ain't nothing stronger than the people we love.
Okay, the paint shop's set up. I hung them from my shop lights. They're hung by chains, so it was like, I don't hold them. Taped everything off, and I wire brushed these with a hand brush, as you can see over there. And I just brushed them the best I could. Make sure to get the outside really good. Now, I'm hoping I don't mark them up putting them back in. But I got to give them time to dry. But this is the stuff I'm using. I saw it on Eastwood. I thought, you know what, we'll try it. It's a matte aluminum looking finish, and I think they're going to look good. I honestly, I don't think we have enough to do the whole exhaust. So what I did was, wire brush them, blew them off with air. Then I got 2+2 out and doused these things, and then blew them off with air again. And now they have dried, so they are ready to throw some paint on. So I'm going to throw a mask on so I'm not breathing any of these chemicals in. And go ahead and spray these down.
Hold up your ladder and sing for the ones that you love. Stay for the fire and swim through the night of the flood. Ain't nothing weaker than a fever. So hold up your ladder and sing for the ones that you love. Ain't nothing stronger than the people we love. The world is serious static, but I am asymptomatic. I'm the only one out here on the floor. Foundation is shaking and the windows all are breaking, but I'm not about to run for the door. I'm not about to run for the door. I'm not about to run for the door. I wanna show you what it feels like. I wanna show you what it feels like. I wanna show you what it feels like. I wanna show you what it feels like.
So they tell you to put light, even coats on from 12 to 14 inches away, so it gives you a better finish. It's kind of hard to do when it's coming out like spackle paint. That first can, it is just splattering as it comes out. Like, there's nothing I can do about it. So I'm switching to the other can, and I'm going to try to mist this last coat after, I let this dry. And we'll see how it turns out. Because right now I got runs in it because there's like no control because of it splattering everywhere, and it's just coming out chunky. Like, look at this. This was smooth. Oh, you see that? That's what the whole exhaust looks like. Chunky. Spackle. Yeah. It's like a really nice rough finish there. Well, both cans did the same thing. I think the second can was worse than the first. Anyways, the splatter actually helped kind of cover my one run there. But yeah, they tell you to do light coats, and there's just no way of doing it. Look at this texture. Yeah, whatever. There's plenty on there. It's covered. I just wish it was smoother. Oh well. Not my fault, but I probably won't buy that stuff from Eastwood again. It says to continuously shake the can. Yeah, it's because there's like chunks in it. I understand now. I shook these things way longer than it tells you to. Whatever. They're done. We're going to wait for those to dry. Throw them back on with new gaskets. I did resurface the front of them. Not really resurface. 240 on a flat plate. And sanded them smooth. Which they weren't off anyways. But the gaskets, you could definitely tell there was some leaking. I mean, it's common in the center, but you see what I mean. And then this one's got oil around it because of the valve cover gasket, obviously. But yeah, it needed some new gaskets. Driver's side looks identical. Here it is. I think it was really leaking on that back cylinder there. See how dark it is? I think it was leaking on all of them, really. Alright, so they're not really the same. They're a little bit different. So here's the ones I got. I don't know how I feel about them, to be honest with you. Those ones are a little bit thicker. But we'll see. I mean, there's metal in between the fibers, whatever fibers this is, so I hope they seal. We'll see what happens. And then they give me 4 of these flange gaskets, which I only need 2. So, after everything dries up, then we can get the exhaust back on and fire this thing up again.
Now, after I got this all in here, I looked at it, I was like, maybe I'm not going to put that on there just yet, because I have body work and paint to do right there, and it's going to be hard to do with that tip sticking out. But I think, just because I want to, I'm going to put 1 tack on each one. Should I put a tack on it? Yes. I'm going to put 1 tack on each one, just for visual purposes right now. I don't think that's how far I want them sticking out. I think we're going to put them in, like, maybe like right there. But still, that looks really good. so much better. There's no more ticking. There was a ticking on this side. It definitely was that header gasket. Man, I tell you what, this thing sounds so much healthier. It had massive exhaust leaks. It had to have. The motor is quiet as can be now. So those header gaskets were definitely a must. Yeah, they're smoking pretty good, but I got them dirty, and they have fresh paint on them. So they are going to smoke a little bit until it burns that off. Those pipes look freaking banging on there. I'm hyped for those. I think that's pretty much the placement I'm going to have on them. You get in, they're about flush with the bed. Yeah, that's bad. All right, so I'm done for the day. Before I get fumigated, because I let it run, warm up. Love this thing, but it's a love-hate relationship. I'm ready for it to go. So if you like this video, smash that like button, consider subscribing, hit that dislike button if your mom wants to stick around for a little while, share, comment, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Unwrecked.
Stu, man, did you play today? You tired? All the playing? Oh my. Miss Stella is warming up. She's getting better with them. She's still hissing here and there, but she's starting to realize that they ain't going nowhere. Huh. You gonna be a good girl? She still, like, really just wants me to show her attention, so make sure to come pet her. All the action's going on over here. Shelly, what are you doing? Huh? Look at them whiskers. Look at these clodhoppers. Come here, let me see these. Look at these things. Oh, Stella. Don't you be hissing. Shelly's inside, or Sully's inside. Sully! Hey, I see you in there. Come out. Come here. What are you doing? Oh. That's where all the action goes on. They've been playing all day. Sully actually got in bed with Stewie and they slept next to each other today. Lots of progress. What? I'm trying to pet you. I'm trying to pet you. Fist bump. Yeah. Sully. He's using his leg more, but he's still got it kicked to the side. Hey, do you guys want to say bye-bye before you fight anymore? Want to say bye? Bye-bye.